Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Are we hot enough? Is everyone sitting vaguely near a fan? They've got the biggest fan backstage, but apparently they have to have it to keep all the technical equipment cool. But I've just been blow drying my hair, so hopefully look okay. Welcome, everyone, to the Northern Writers Awards 2026, our annual celebration of talent and potential from the north of England. A warm welcome to everyone here in the room and for everyone joining us on the live stream across the north and further afield. You're all incredibly welcome, and thank you for putting up with the heat and still coming. This is an incredibly special night of the year for New Writing North, as it's the fruition of a great deal of work that brings the Northern Writers Awards together. Thousands of manuscripts read and considered by skilled readers and assessors, thoughtful decisions by judges made, and then tonight we get to be together to celebrate writers who this year will undertake an exciting journey of creative possibilities. Congratulations to all our winners tonight. This is a real achievement. You have beat thousands of other writers who applied, so huge congratulations. There has been literary controversy recently about AI-generated work within writing competitions. We expect writers to submit original work for our awards. Our criteria does not allow the use of generative AI. But I think more importantly, we are keeping all our assessment and reviewing processes manned by humans, skilled literary readers. So I think our commitment to quality of process does really result in us finding the best work. I'd like to thank everyone whose commitment and skills make these awards possible. From our major long-term supporters, Northumbria University and Arts Council England, who have helped us to shape, sustain and grow these awards for a very long time now, which is really very special. And to all our significant partners who grow and change every year, but this year, huge thanks to Hachette Children's Book Group, the Tees Valley Combined Authority, really delighted to have you guys on board with us this year, Johnson and Alcock Literary Agents, the Charlotte Aitken Trust, Channel 4, Arvon, TLC, Children's Books North Network, the Authors Licensing and Collection Society, and it goes on for a while, the Society of Authors, the Victoria Wood Foundation, and the Curtis Brown Group, and Colville and Walsh, who are all literary agents. Thank you for your partnership, your commitment to raising talent in the North, and to supporting New Writing North and the writers that we work with in so many imaginative ways. This year, across the awards, we'll be awarding over £70,000 worth of support. No mean feat in these times. And tonight you will get to see our new winners and hear some of our previous awards recipients talk about how the awards have transformed their lives and careers. It's traditional for me to pause at this point in the proceedings and share with you some stories of just how well our awards alumni are doing. Every year, this list of achievement takes my breath away, and it gets longer and longer every year. It's very clear to me, looking at these stories of success, that the Northern Writers Awards are not only making things happen for writers in the North, but also contributing significantly to our national literary landscape. Our writers are shaping our national culture. So, prepare yourself. Here is just a taste of what has happened to some of our alumni in the last year. First off, prize winners, where our writers go on to storm many other national and international prizes. C.D. Rose won the 2025 Goldsmith Prize for his novel We Live Here Now. In 2024, Rosie Kelly won the Northbound Book Award for her novel Kingfisher. Last year, Kingfisher was published by our partner Saraband. This year, Kingfisher was shortlisted for the Women's Prize for Fiction. You will hear from Rosie later tonight. Vidyan Ravatyan was the joint winner of the Forward Prize for Best Collection. In Ireland, Grania O'Hare published her debut novel Thirst Trap with Picador last year. Thirst Trap made the USA Today's bestseller list, has been translated into German, was shortlisted for Newcomer of the Year at the Irish Post Book Awards, and has just been awarded the Kerry Group Irish Novel of the Year award. Grania has also recently been shortlisted for 2 Society of Authors prizes. In Wales, because we like to be everywhere with this stuff, 2 former Northern Writers Awards winners were longlisted for the Dylan Thomas Prize. Susanna V. Evans for her poetry collection Under the Blue, and Sean Hewitt for his novel Open Heaven. And in the US, Patricia King was awarded the Drew Hines Literature Prize for her story collection, Those Who Vanish, which will be published by the University of Pittsburgh Press later this September. Developing into other forms of writing, Abby Walker, winner of the Finkel Prize, won the BBC Alfred Bradley Award for her audio drama, The Counsellor. Abby was also awarded the Young North East Playwriting Award in 2026. And this year we welcome debut books from the following previous winners. Louise Powell's debut novel Underdogs is published next month, and we will be celebrating the release of this brilliant novel at the Newcastle Greyhound Stadium as part of our Right to Read events. Our audiobook studio, Sounds Good, has produced the audiobooks of Underdogs here in Newcastle as well. Katia Kane and Bridget Hamilton have their debut novels coming out on the same day next month. Katia's fantasy YA novel, Blood of Gods and Girls, is coming out with Penguin Random House, children's, and Bridget's YA novel in verse, We Wait for the Stars, is being released with Little Tiger Press. And there are also new books from Amy Stewart, Rachel Pattinson, Laura Madonna, Roma Havers, Jennifer Lee Tsai, Carson Wolfe, Jasmine Linklater, who complete this impressive lineup. Previous winners with second and third books out this season include Kit Fan, Naomi Kelsey, Mike Edwards, Kim Moore, and John Challis, whose new collection, The Green Parcel, is out soon from Northumberland-based Blood Axe Books, and includes poems written while he was our writer-in-residence at Seton Delaval Hall in partnership with the National Trust. And special appreciation to the alumni of the Northumbria University Student and Alumni Awards. Sean Wilson has recently published his debut novel, Malk's Boy, to great acclaim. Heather Asquith, who won in 2017 after studying for her creative writing MA at Northumbria, published her third book earlier this year, the Gothic horror romantasy, Half a Dark Heart. I'm sure you agree that this is an impressive list of achievements. Lots of these writers are here tonight, so can we give them a huge round of applause? Thank you. As you hear, the Northern Writers Awards really are transformative for those that receive them, and our relationships with agents and publishers and our wraparound mentoring and professional support mean that the writers who win get off to a very good start. I'm very proud that through the awards we continue to engage with our winners long after their winning year, helping writers to negotiate their new careers and the business of writing, championing the launch of new books, and supporting well-being when things get tough. This approach builds an extraordinary community and long-term relationships that we take a great deal of pleasure in. What always gives me pause to appreciate is the willingness of our winners to give back to other writers through giving time to share experiences with others or directly through philanthropy. I'm not sure that there are many other award programs in the world that include so many individuals giving both time and money to support others, and the Friends of New Writing North, who also give to the awards as individuals. Benjamin Myers, one of the most successful writers to benefit from the awards, who is now publishing internationally and adapting his work for TV and film, kindly returned to establish the Finkel Short Story Prize in 2021. Poet and novelist Andrew Macmillan created the Tempest Prize for us to support LGBTQ authors. And huge congratulations to Andrew, who received an MBE for his services for literature this year. I think he probably got that for the prize he does with us, but I'm sure he's also done a lot of other really brilliant stuff. With Sid Chaplin's family at Newcastle University, we celebrate tonight the support they have given to 13 working class writers since 2019, with the 14th recipient announced this evening. We are keen to continue to support working class voices via the awards and are hoping to find a new donor for this work next year. Huge thanks to Spike and Jean Hale for their support of the Matthew Hale Award, which has been transformational for so many young people from across the North, giving them access to cultural experiences and creative support. And this year, special thanks and appreciation to the family of Eva Ibbotson, one of Newcastle's great writers, and her publisher, Pam Macmillan, who have supported the Eva Ibbotson Award. What a community of giving back. What a community of giving, and what a love and appreciation of good writing we all share. We are very grateful for all the support from our community and the enlightened will that people have to make good things happen for others that these gifts demonstrate. Community is a word that I'd like to reflect on a little bit in relation to New Writing North's work more broadly. We have been making significant things happen for writers in the North since 1996. 30 years of building relationships and community. This community grows to support each other and in turn supports us to make greater advancements in our work and to raise our ambitions. We enable writers to develop work across books, film, television, audio, and through our civic work, and we connect them to each other, to publishers and producers, and most importantly, to audiences. And every year we employ and commission over 300 writers and creative practitioners directly through our work. By bringing together talent and opportunity, we create a very dynamic and flourishing ecosystem for the North. Developing talent is in New Writing North's DNA, but we are much more than a talent agency, and we are committed to growing our work and to putting writing at the heart of the North's creative narrative and ambitions. I have stood on this stage. Some of you are only here, I know, for the first time, but there are some people here who are often at the awards who will have heard me talking about our aspirations to create a centre for writing and publishing to serve the North in Newcastle. I'm delighted to tell you this evening that that dream is no longer a dream. It's a project that is now greenlit, finally. We have raised over £10.7 million to make this happen, with support from Mayor Kim McGuinness and her strategic authority, from Newcastle City Council, who have guided us throughout this process, from Northumbria University, and from central government funding via DCMS. We are about to buy the wonderful old post office in Newcastle, a significant heritage asset in the city, and of course, at one time, home to every morsel of communication and letter that the city received, which feels absolutely perfect to me. We will set forth to transform this beautiful building into a unique new home for readers and for a new generation of storytellers. 7 years in the planning. This exciting venture will bring together our community of partners and supporters, with Northumbria University, Hachette UK and Faber, and many other independent and commercial publishers, producers and broadcasters who will live and gather in the new centre. Alongside them, all of New Writing North's work with young people, our skills and community programmes for people of all ages, and our events programmes will scale up to create new opportunities for people to get involved with work in an inspirational new venue. The centre will be a place for the enjoyment of making of writing in all its forms, and it will be a place that brings and develops new creative jobs, work and commissions. You will be able to grow up here and dream of being a writer or a publisher and not have to leave the North East to do so. We are pushing to rebalance the UK's publishing scene and to end the London dominance of one of our most important creative industries. My friends, the North is rising. We believe that writing can drive the North's creative economy. For 30 years, we've known that we have writing talent here. Now we will create the infrastructure to depth charge the opportunities. Tonight, we bring together winners from across the North, from Stockport, Sheffield, Middlesbrough, and our new centre will benefit writers from across the North, bringing new attention and partnerships to the North and building appetite in others for the great work that we can achieve here. We are creating something completely new with a vision that is all our own. There is nothing like the Centre for Writing in the world. We are doing this for our communities of readers and writers. We will take stories from the North to the world, and we will bring the world's stories back home. We believe in a world where words empower people and connect us to place, where reading and writing are available to all to boost confidence, personal expression, and to encourage understanding, so that everyone can connect, contribute, and enjoy life. Reading and writing is a right, not a privilege, but unfortunately we can no longer take it for granted that this is a universally understood statement. Some words are under threat. We now live in a country where some people are and would ban books from schools and civic libraries. Our new centre will stand for free expression as a given, and it will be built with the understanding that in a free society, every voice matters. It is the National Year of Reading this year, an attempt by many to try and turn the tide in what is a growing crisis in reading and literacy. Literacy is vital for a thriving democracy, social progression, better standards of living and health and happiness. A lack of literacy underpins so many social, poor social outcomes that we experience in the North East. We all must do better to address this. We will play our role, and we have ambitious plans to innovate with how we might do this. Seeing yourself and the stories of your place in the world represented in books and on television builds confidence, empathy, and understanding. It also builds a powerful understanding of place and opens the door to creating a new narrative for the North. There is much to do. There is much that we all can do, and I hope that you will join us as New Writing North sets forth on this amazing journey. But first, we have some writers to honour and some awards to give out. Before we completely get on with that, I'm going to hand over to Professor Lisanne Gibson, Pro VC in the Faculty of Social and Culture, Society and Culture, with our partners at Northumbria University. Please give Lisanne a massive round of applause.
Thank you for that, Claire, and what a fantastic introduction to this evening of celebration. So, hello everyone, I'm Lisanne Gibson, I'm Pro Vice-Chancellor for the Faculty of Society and Culture here at Northumbria, and I'm delighted to welcome you to the 27th Northern Writers Awards. So the Northern Writers Awards are an invaluable platform to ensure that new writing talents from this region get the recognition that they deserve. And the special beauty of these awards is that they really recognise talent across all styles, all genres, and formal approaches to writing. Within that, Northumbria celebrates the special opportunity that the awards offer to our own students, their chance to submit work, to be read seriously, to have their voices heard. Northumbria has been a very proud partner with our esteemed partner, New Writing North, since 2012. The fit between our organisations is so strong and well aligned precisely because we share a mission to develop and promote local talent. Here at Northumbria, we are committed to providing our students with learning experiences that are empowering to their ambitions and transformative to their prospects in life. We want them to feel valued for their abilities and believe they can claim a rightful place in the field of their choice, one they have earned for themselves. My colleague and author, Richard Kelly, tells me that for anyone who aspires to succeed in creative writing, it can often seem at the start like a rather lonely and thankless business. Early career writers must live on self-belief and self-esteem, precious but elusive commodities. And I'm sure that a lot of us feel that at times we could do with more of both. The fact is, we all need encouragement in our endeavours, and writers are no different. So this is where awards given to emerging writers for promising work in progress plays such a transformative role. They recognise the talent, they foster that self-belief. A little bit of money does a power of good too. But above all, these awards give writers the good news that there is real value in the products of their imagination. These are Northern Awards. They are place-based in the sense that they aim to build capacity in the North, to nurture a writing community within our wider community. The North of England is a particular place. It has a particular society, economy, and a special history, a distinctive culture. One of the great gifts of good writing is how it can make the particular feel universal, so that we find ourselves in someone else's story, whatever place we're from. This really counts because new writing is absolutely foundational to the success story that is UK's creative industries, which inform and entertain the whole world through novels, through lyrics, through scripts for screen, on stage or games, all the glories of narrative art and storytelling. UK publishing is world-leading, and its continued growth is remarkable in a time when growth has been hard to find. But it's fair to say that the benefits of growth have not been equally felt by all. From our Northern outlook, we can say that inequalities relating to geography and class have long been a particular problem across the creative sector. The perception that London is the centre of the nation's arts and all other places are peripheries. That London is like a citadel of culture with gatekeepers, and who you know decides whether or not you can get your foot in the gate. Thankfully, this is a problem that's been recognised and is being actively addressed. It's understood at the highest levels that talent development needs to benefit more people and more places across our nation. March 2024 saw a landmark devolution deal in the North East and a blueprint to support growth of our creative economy in which writing and publishing are explicitly championed. Our next great endeavour, as you've heard from Claire, is with New Writing North and the Centre for Writing and Publishing that will open its gates in Newcastle in 2028. That centre will be a great shared experiment in the making of a new writing and publishing ecosystem, a powerhouse at the end of the country. It will build on a formidable heritage of literature in this region, and it will be powered above all by new writing and by the efforts to bring this gift to readers. We look forward to that prospect, but first, we look forward to this evening and to celebrating all the fine writing that this year's New Writers Awards have brought to light. We salute all the entrants, congratulate the prize winners, and share with them in the excitement that so much more lies ahead. Have a fantastic evening. That's you.
Thank you, Lisanne. Wonderfully said. I'm now going to hand over to the brilliant Nick Ahad, who is a multiple award-winning writer and a broadcaster working across TV, theatre and radio. You might know him for his play adaptations, The Boy at the Back of the Class, which went on a national tour in 2014, and for work across TV and radio drama. He's a very familiar voice if you listen to BBC Radio in the North, and he has broadcast thousands of hours of live radio, presenting the Nick Ahad Show for BBC Radio Leeds for over a decade. And in 2020, he joined Radio 4's Front Row, where I listen to him very often while I'm cooking dinner. He's part of the presenting team there. Nick's going to take us through this evening and help us to meet all our winners. So please give a big Northern Writers Awards welcome to Nick.
Hello! We'll try that again. Hello! There we go. Hi, welcome. What a brilliant, brilliant evening this is going to be. We've got a really special evening. We've got a really inspiring evening for you. And I know it's inspiring because I did this last year, and that was the last time I spoke about the novel that I was going to write. And guess what? I spent the last month writing the novel, and I've written 30,000 words. So I feel like I'm amongst friends because I know what it's like to, miss a deadline. I know what it's like to beat yourself up because you didn't get your 1,000 words down today. But I know that by the end of tonight, I'm going to be incredibly inspired by all of you. Congratulations for being in this room. If you're here, it's because you're a winner. It's because you kept going. It's because you got through the writer's block. It's because you got to the finishing line. Now, look, I've got loads to say. I want to tell you about how tonight's going to go. However, what I really want to do is get some of the inspiring people on stage that we're going to be hearing from tonight. So we're going to get straight into this, and we're going to hear from the brilliant Rosie Kelly. So our first performance for you tonight is a reading by Rosie. She's the author of Kingfisher. Now, this was recently shortlisted for the 2026 Women's Prize for Fiction. She won the Northbound Book Award, run by New Writing North, as part of the Northern Writers Awards. And that led to Kingfisher being published by leading Northern independent publisher Saraband in 2025. So, would you please welcome to the stage Rosie Kelly. Do you want the lectern? All yours.
Hi, hello everyone. This is so lovely. Thank you so much for having me, and congratulations to all of you. This is it's not just a celebration of talent, but of an enormous amount of hard work. So yes, I'm very excited to be able to celebrate with you. I'm going to read a little bit of my novel to you. To give you a little bit of context, it's a novel about two writers, essentially, because I suppose write what you know is at least part of that. And the section that I thought was most appropriate to read this evening contains a piece of writing advice that I actually stole from Jeanette Winterson when she taught me on my master's. And I know there's at least one person in this room that has probably heard that before, I can see. But I thought it was appropriate to read this section because everyone who is receiving an award this evening will have listened to that advice and actioned that advice. So I'm just going to go for it. There are also the two writers. There's an unnamed poet and my protagonist, and they're currently going swimming, just for a little bit more context. The poet was a chaotic swimmer. Perhaps unfairly, I'd imagined her falling into a rhythmic breaststroke and keeping her whole head above water. In fact, she swam like a child, or perhaps an eel. She was all wriggles and splashes, plunging underwater unexpectedly, only to surface further away, looking at me impatiently. When I reached out to touch her, I marvelled again at her tiny body, a taut mass of tendon and sinew. Of course, underwater she really did weigh nothing, but to me it felt the same as when I lifted her onto her huge forest bed in her big white house. We decided to do a lap of the deep middle section. I revelled in the feeling of knowing the bottom was far below me. I wanted to sink down there and sleep on the silty bed. I began to feel the effects of my hangover again, but the poet didn't lose her breath for a second. "Have you been writing?" she asked, and then dove under, only to surface again a few feet away and look expectantly at me for an answer. "No," I admitted. "I've not written anything properly for weeks. Every time I try, I find myself shaken. Weakened, perhaps." I took my turn to dive under and swim away, like we were playing some kind of strange relay. I'm not sure I believe in writer's block as such. I can feel the words, almost see them, but I can't quite catch them. I'm out of practice or something. "How often do you try?" "Not often." "Well, that's your problem then." The poet floated on her back with her arms out to her sides. "Sometimes you just have to be in the room. Get your bum on the seat. If you do that often enough, then the words will fly close enough for you to catch them." She took a deep breath and dropped beneath the surface again. When she came back up, I watched her eyes follow a flicker of red and blue as it dipped across the surface of the water. "Did you see it?" she asked. "I did," I said. "You know, the bullet trains in Japan were inspired by a kingfisher." The poet's eyes were dancing all around to catch another glimpse. "They used the shape of the beak as a model to prevent a sonic boom every time a train entered the tunnel." When she saw a flash of the tiny bird again, she laughed out loud. We swam for hours. When we finally crawled up the bank, my muscles were softened and supple, my fingertips wrinkled. I felt diluted, as if I'd begun to blend in with the water, the fish, the insects, and the birds. We lay on our towels in the sun in silence. The heat was almost oppressive once we were under the sun. I noticed that the poet no longer wore dressings on the wounds from her surgery. They looked neat and clean. She had her arms above her head and the soft hair on her underarms glinted reddish in the sun. I'd always imagined her as a swallow if she were a bird, but I decided that I was wrong. She was a kingfisher. I rolled a cigarette and lit it, and she held out her hand immediately without opening her eyes. I gave it to her and made myself another one. The poet had slathered herself with sun cream, not blue this time, and I noticed that no matter how we moved to catch some shade from the tree, the sun always found her first. The sun was always searching for her. Just as I began to feel so hot that I couldn't bear it anymore, it began to rain. Most of the sky was still blue. The poet still lay bathed in pure summer light, yet fat, heavy raindrops began to thud into the dry grass. I could hear it peppering the water. Swallows danced, dipping down to catch surprised insects. I lay perfectly still, listening, and imagined magical feathered trains breaking the speed of sound. Thank you very much.
Rosie Kelly reading from Kingfisher. I feel like I need to get that tattooed. Bum on the seat, catch the words. I'll try that, Rosie. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here with you. This really is a special night. I do lots of these kind of things, these events, but this one just feels different. I was talking to Jane from the Arts Council, and she said the same thing. She said she's really excited to be in this room because it's a room full of potential. It's a room full of amazing winners and wonderful people, but it's the potential that I think you can feel in this really special room. I need you to do something for me tonight. So we're going to be inviting a lot of really brilliant people up to collect awards. And so I want you to give them a really warm round of applause each time they come up. And what we're going to do is we're going to build through the night. And at the end of the night, we're going to have the biggest round of applause. We're going to dial it up to 11 for a final round of applause. I want them to hear us in Morpeth. Is that far enough away? Yeah, I want them to hear us in Morpeth. But we can't just go straight to 10. So what we're going to do is we're going to warm ourselves up. So I'm going to give you a cue. Don't worry, you will know the cue, I promise. And when I give you the cue, I want you to give me maybe a 6, maybe veering into a 7, just to get us in the mood to welcome onto the stage the brilliant winners we're going to meet. Are we ready for that? Okay. Are you ready for your cue? I wonder what your cue is going to be. All right, so we're going to go for 6, 7. We want them to hear us maybe just in the town centre, not Morpeth just yet. So, ladies and gentlemen, let me officially welcome you to the Northern Writers Award 2026. Yeah. 6, 7. I didn't even do that deliberately. 6, 7. I had no idea. All right, let's get on with this. I'm so pleased that we're starting with the awards for young writers. I was in a really privileged position just recently. I was asked to judge some writing awards for the Lowry Theatre, and it was for young people, and it was terrifying how good these kids were and indeed are. So I was reading scripts, I was reading film scripts, theatre scripts, and it's extraordinary what these young people are doing. It took me a long time to get anywhere near to the level that these 11, 12, 13-year-olds were writing at. So I think it's entirely appropriate that we start with the young writers. Now don't forget, a warm round of applause until they get all the way up here, please. So, the Young Northern Writers Awards. These are for writers aged 11 to 18. They award fiction, poetry, narrative non-fiction, script, and songwriting. Now, this year's entries were judged, and I can attest to this, with great care. There's something about judging awards for young people that makes you really focus and concentrate because you realize how much it means, because maybe once upon a time we were those 11, 12, 13-year-olds just wanting a bit of encouragement. So I know just how much care and delight that the poet John Glenday would have put into this. And John is watching at home, so should we give John a nice little round of applause to say thank you? So, I'm going to announce the highly commended in the 15 to 18 category, and I'm going to announce the winner. But I do just want to say that I think the 3 categories I'm about to read out, you're at a really special, crucial moment, and you're in a really wonderful room. There are writers who are a little bit ahead of you, but here's the beauty of writing. It doesn't really matter how old you are, or where you come from, or what your background is. we're all writers, we're all doing the same thing. We're all trying to put down on the page the way that the world feels to us. So I'm really happy that you're here. I'm really happy that you're going to come and collect these awards. Make sure you talk to the other writers in the room and get inspired like I do every time I come here. So, could you join me on stage? Highly commended, Jessie Morris from Durham for her historical novel, Campo 115. Congratulations, Jessie. Congratulations. So we've got a camera just down there. Just going to hold your award. Perfect. Thank you. Thanks so much. Congratulations. Well done, you lot. That was perfect. That was brilliant. The applause kept going until she got all the way here. That's exactly what we need. And the winner from South Yorkshire for his fiction and poetry portfolio, receiving £150, is Nathan Graham. Congratulations, mate. Well done, mate. Okay, the camera just down there. Well done, mate. And as you can see, I might read out some of them actually. You can see from the comments that John has given, he really has put a lot of thought and care and attention into these awards. We now come to the 11 to 14 age category. So impressed that you're even submitting work for a competition at that age. Well done, you. So, the highly commended from Altrincham for her prose piece, The Blogs, is Chidima Nadi. Congratulations. Well done. There you go. I'll tell you what, at that age, to be told that you are remarkably subtle, beautifully precise, a very fine, convincing story, I don't think I've ever had reviews like that. That's very impressive. And the winner from Newcastle for her story Child Runners, also receiving £150, is Anya Adnan. Well done, Anya. I thought you got lost on the way up there. Congratulations. For those of you that were here last year, excuse me just for a minute because I'm going to repeat something that I said then. One of the reasons that I always say yes if I can to come and be at this awards do is because it feels personal to me. So I grew up in a place called Keighley that is not London. And I am the son of a Bangladeshi bus driver. My mum was a cleaner. My mum used to take me to pubs that she cleaned when I was a kid, and that's why I'm really good at pool, if anyone fancies a game. But people like me who come from Keighley, who have a dad who's a Bangladeshi bus driver, aren't supposed to be writers, and they're not supposed to be Radio 4 presenters. And I had a teacher, Mrs. Goodrich, who just believed in me. She told me that I was good, and she told me that I could write. And so it's all her fault. No, it's that moment of encouragement. That's all I needed to hear. And it opened up a world to me that I didn't think existed. And even if I did think it existed, I didn't think it belonged to me. And so I feel like these awards really speak to that. And I feel like these awards they're for people like me. They're for people like us. And it's a huge privilege, like I say, to be here. Let's get on to the next one. This is the Matthew Hale Award. So this award is open to young writers who show promise but have limited opportunities to pursue their talent. The winner receives a package of support worth £500, and of course we're really grateful to the family of Matthew Hale for making this award possible. And the award was judged by the Hale family. And I'm delighted to say, winning the award from Washington for Shattered is Juno Atkinson. Hi. There you go. Congratulations. Come and sit down there. Well done. And as Claire was saying, the extraordinary thing about these awards is that they reward potential, and you've heard that very, very long list of what former award winners have gone on to do. And the fact that you've been told that you have huge potential by John, I think is just wonderful. So congratulations, Juno. Move on to the Eva Ibbotson Award now, another one that feels close to my heart. So this award is made in memory of the wonderful writer Eva Ibbotson, who for many years lived in Jesmond in Newcastle. This award is open to young writers who are writing in English as an additional language. And the award includes a collection, and this is so special, I love this. Do you remember when you used to get your catalogues at school and you'd get the book catalogue and you'd choose your books? Well, I'm so delighted that the winner is going to get to do that for themselves, because the award includes a collection of Pan Macmillan books to the value of £200 to the winning pupil's school library, and a set of Eva's books to the winner. We're grateful to the Ibbotson family and to Alex Price and all at Pan Macmillan for generously supporting this award. And the winner from Newcastle for her poetry is Hachette. Welcome, congratulations. The camera's just down there. Wonderful. What a wonderful thing to be able to read a remarkable command of imagery and a powerful story to tell about their relationship to language, and the confidence, like Prince and Kylie, to go by a single name. Well done, you. All right, like I said, tonight is about the awards, but it's also about being inspired and having some extraordinary, inspirational people in this room. And we're going to get quite a few readings. We've got a really exciting, interesting talk coming up as well. But I want to move on to our next reading now. This is from Scraps. Now, this is an anthology of young writing from the North, produced and edited by New Writing North's first edition group. This is made up of writers and creatives aged 18 to 25 who meet regularly to develop their writing. I cannot tell you, as a journalism student, we produced our own newspaper, and it remains to this day one of the most exciting things, exciting periods of my life. And I did that because I had to become a journalist. It was part of passing my course. The fact that these young creators are just doing it because they want to is so inspiring, it's so extraordinary. So they meet regularly to develop their writing, and we're going to hear poems from two writers featured in Scraps. We're going to hear from Millie Heavenly Davidson and Connor Dorian. Before I invite Connor on, before I invite Millie on, let me tell you, she's an emerging writer from South Shields, set to graduate this summer with a degree in creative writing. She's currently working on extending her final year short story into a novel. She's really eager to make a career in her home of the Northeast, which, can we give her a round of applause just for that, for goodness sake? Millie, come on up to the stage and we're going to hear your reading. Ladies and gentlemen, Millie Heavenly Davidson.
Hello, thank you so much for having us. Well done to all the winners. Yeah, it's amazing to be here. Today I'm going to be reading my poem, To Prepare a Feast, and I'm just going to get into it. Dear Mum, at what corner of the night do you begin to prepare a feast? When should I slide off the orange peel of my kneecap? size up the berries buried beneath my skin. What's the best method to pare the rind I lace my legs in? Cook off the merlot that keeps my cheeks blush. Do you use the fridge light to shave sage-strewn hairs, sweep away peppered breaks on pelvic floors? If I gut the entree on the porcelain, does it still bleed through? Watch white purge red a palatable pink. I'm just really writing to ask, does it still bleed through? Ma'am, do you get hungry in the dark too? Because one devastating night, I will begin to prepare a feast. With a cookbook of your recipes and lard in the lines of my palm, I will lay down my body on the plate of a man I cannot stomach. Strip down to kimchi fermented knickers or a bra bathed in balsamic. Souring his name on my tongue, cursing my taste that came from you, ma'am. In the loneliest corner of the night, I will learn to prepare a grave in this kitchen. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you, Millie. Thank you so much for sharing that. We're now going to hear from Connor. So Connor is a proud working class playwright. He's an actor, a facilitator, and a poet from Sunderland. Now, his writing has been staged in multiple venues in the region, so I imagine some people in the room tonight might well have seen his work. As an emerging Northeast working class writer, the chance to share authentic voices and stories fuel his work, which I just think is awesome. Please welcome to the stage Connor Dorian.
Hello, is all right. Thank you so much for having me here. I'm very excited to read my poem Sundered, which featured in Scraps. And congratulations to all of the award winners tonight. Let's get into it. Okay. The land, sundered, rusted over by closed industry, ghostly shells of shipyards, lonely whispers beyond the pits in stainless steel. Coarse, tired and weak, it watches waves grasp at its working-class widows she weeps. The time moves differently here. Miners, builders, welders, therapists, business, your local pub usuals, inhaling. A pocket of time running faster by the hour, yet never moving along any timeline. Running, frozen, jogging on the spot, breathing heavier and heavier, the brink of collapse. Each lung grey by every slow inhale, the dust dances, then settles. Its metal ribcage provides each speck of tomorrow's possibilities, safe passage from one organ to the next. The time moves differently here. Nurses, teachers, police, fishermen, preachers, wives, husbands, children, shadows, angels. Exhaling. Some particles leave their dancers moving afar, others stay. Once every breath, a small number of isolated dust jump from the bone into the below. The time moves differently here. Politicians, drug dealers, teenage pregnancy, poets, posties, freezing elderly, artists, car collectors, starving children, boxers, dancers, youth offenders, carers, empathy, pretenders, inhaling. New people and old places, no trust and blank faces. Internal disgust and expressionless hate. A fire rages. The time moves differently here. Idiots, mothers, public figures, families, devil's advocates, and unfortunates. Exhaling. We're not united, half of us uninvited to the dinner table, we're divided. A kingdom of uninspired liars, unstable on a wire above the fires of rumbling riots. The unlucky ones with no song to be sung, forgotten angels, lost halos, failed by the so-called system. Thank you very much.
Amazing, amazing. I sometimes go into schools and I do talks, and there are certain kinds of schools that I go into. Basically, the kind of school that I went to when I was a kid. And there's sort of a message that I always want to leave the children with, and it's to believe in the validity of your own voice. And I really think what Connor and Millie and your friends who are all making scraps are doing is that you're claiming the validity of your own voice, and what you're also doing is teaching the people that will come behind you that their voice is worth hearing. So congratulations, and keep up the amazing work. I've just realised something. I need some help from someone. What's your name? Anna. I do this thing sometimes, Anna. And basically, I need a clanger. So I need you to give me a clang. If I sometimes accidentally do a name drop, I might drop some names. So if I do, will you just give me a clang so that I'm aware of it? By the way, is this top all right? Is it okay? I was a bit... I've come up from Bradford today, and my wife wasn't at home when I left, so she dresses me, essentially. And I was a bit worried because last night I was talking to Bill Nighy, and he said, if you can listen back on BBC Sounds, he genuinely said that he doesn't trust a man wearing linen. He said, don't wear linen. And then he said, actually, wear linen if you like, but I won't be talking to you. And I put this on, and I wasn't sure if it was linen or not. So Bill Nighy made me a little bit nervous about what to wear tonight. I probably will be doing that again at some point, Anna. Right, let's get to our next award. This is the Hachette Children's Novel Award. Run in partnership with the Hachette Children's Group, the Hachette Children's Novel Awards, you could have named your company something that's easier for me to say with these braces in, offer 2 career-changing opportunities for writers who have not yet published a work of middle-grade fiction. The 2 winners are going to receive £3,000 each, and, which is perhaps even more important, a programme of mentoring and development devised by our friends at Hachette Children's Group. We're really grateful to them for making these awards possible. Now, this year's judging panel will publishing professionals Sarah Lennon-Gallivan, agent Sally Ann Sweeney, editor at Hachette, Georgina Mitchell, and the writer Yasmin Abdel-Majid. So, big thanks to the judges, and can I ask Georgina Mitchell to join me on stage to hand out the awards, please? Absolutely, yeah. So we have 2 winners tonight. You only have 1 certificate there, though, Georgina, and that's because our first winner, who is receiving the £3,000 and the programme of mentoring, isn't with us. So she's joining us online, though, so she will be able to hear if you're enthusiastic or not about this. So from Lancashire, winning for her middle grade fantasy, The Witches on Pear Street, is Saba Nawaz. Congratulations, Saba, and we'll make sure that you get your certificate. And the other winner, also winning £3,000 and this programme of mentoring, from Northwest for her middle grade horror, the novel Phantom of the Orchard, it's Wendy Davis. I just want to mention something before we move on. Connor and Millie, when you were reading, it really reminded me the way you held the audience. A couple of weeks ago, I was on stage with the Poet Laureate Simon Armitage, and he held the room as powerfully and as beautifully as you two. So there you go. Hopefully that's inspirational as well. Now we've got a new award. Well done, 30% of you. Now we've got a new award. There you go. This is wonderful. This is really exciting. The Great Northern Read Award. It's a new award for this year. It was devised by a literary agency, Johnson and Alcock, and alongside New Writing North. And the idea behind this is that they want to offer a fresh and exciting opportunity to emerging writers who are writing gripping, page-turning fiction across all genres and are looking to take the next step to publication, which I think makes it an incredibly competitive thing. So, like, enormous congratulations to the winner of this award, who is going to receive £2,500 and mentoring from the literary agency Johnson and Alcock. We're really grateful to Anna Power and her team for making this unique opportunity possible. And Anna's going to join me on stage, actually, to hand out this award. So, Anna, if you want to join us. This year's judging panel were Anna Power, acclaimed fantasy novelist R.J. Barker, and publishing professional Rosanna Forte. Is Anna there? Anna's not there. Does anyone know? Anna Power, stick your hand up. Oh, here she is. Anna, welcome. Now, I know in you writing North are particularly grateful for the fact that you've been really passionate about this and you've worked hard with them to make this a reality. So, and the more writing we have, the more wonderful writing we have that is, as you say, page-turning, and that's exactly what you're looking for, then the better it is for all of us. So I am absolutely delighted to say that from Whitley Bay, winning for her novel, The Fox at the Door, is Sarah Hunt. Congratulations. I have to say, I don't know if I'll need you for this one, Anna. Last night on Front Row, I was interviewing a writer called Sufyan Salam. His debut book is called Women Road Boys. And it's a fantastic piece of work. He's from Manchester, and the book's all about Wilmslow Road. It's these three lads who have one night on Wilmslow Road, which is, if you know Manchester, it's quite a famous road. But he won, the reason he was published is because he won the Mercury Prize, which is sponsored by Stormzy, and it was just 5,000 words that he submitted, and he won the prize, and part of the prize was to write towards publication, and there I was on Radio 4 interviewing him with his book in my hand. And I can't wait to be interviewing the likes of Sarah and all the people that we're meeting tonight on Front Row, because that's what these awards are about. They're not always about what you've done, they're about the potential that you have to do the next thing. So no clangs, that was all right? Cool. I just want to say I can't wait to be interviewing you on Radio 4 in a year or two time. I love this award, the Finkel Award. This was created and is funded by previous winner. He's not here, he's a mate of mine, I've not seen him for years, Benjamin Myers, whose books include The Gallows Pole, The Offing, and Cuddy. And I remember speaking to some of the actors from Gallows Pole and Shane Meadows a couple of years ago. And it's so exciting that this is where Benjamin came from. And there he is talking about his extraordinary BBC TV series that's based on his novel. He's a wonderful ambassador for New Writing North, he really is. So this award is to reward a single short story. And we're really grateful to Benjamin Myers and his support of the award. So the winner of this one receives £1,000, and the award was jointly judged this year by the writer Jake Arnott and the actor Maxine Peake. They were dedicated, insightful, and apparently fun judges. And we're going to have Jake on the stage to hand out the award. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Jake Arnott. Here he is. I'm fascinated to know about this story. Winning for her story Mischief Night from Sheffield, Nariman Shafi. Congratulations, Nariman. And if you haven't had a chance to speak to Jake yet, do make sure you bend his ear, because that's a wonderful thing to be reading about your own writing. Jake, Jake's staying on stage with me. This next award, so one of my favourite writers is Clive James. I've been going back to some of his stuff just recently, and he's got this brilliant quote, and it's something like, it's not enough for me to succeed, I need to see my peers fail. And I think that's why this award is something that you should be particularly proud of. You'll understand why in just a moment. So this is the Northumbria University Student and Alumni Award. So this recognises the achievements of a student or recent alumni from Northumbria University. The winner's going to receive £2,000, and the award was shortlisted by members of the creative writing team at Northumbria University. So your peers have selected you. So your peers actually want you to succeed, which is an enormous reward in itself. The winner selected by the writer, poet and musician Stu Hennigan. Stu is watching at home. He's incredibly enthusiastic about supporting new writing. He's based in Leeds. He does wonderful work. And as he is watching, can we give Stu Hennigan a round of applause as well, please? And so, Stu, you have selected as the winner from the shortlist made by her peers from Newcastle for her poetry, Victoria Fleming. And thanks again to you. What a wonderful thing. A writer with bags of natural ability, passionate and dedicated commitment to the craft. I need to come and have a chat with you about that commitment and dedication because I'm hitting a block at this 30,000 words. We'll have a chat later. This next award's really special. It's one of the oldest, longest running awards that we've had. It's made in the memory of the North East writer Sid Chaplin, whose books include The Day of the Sardine. The award is made to a writer from a working class background. The winner is going to receive £2,000, access to the Sid Chaplin archive at the Robinson Library, and a manuscript appraisal from the Literary Consultancy. We just want to acknowledge the support of the Chaplin family. It's a wonderful thing, it's a wonderful legacy, and we're really grateful that you support this. Also, the award is supported by Newcastle University and TLC. You've made the award possible. We're really grateful for the long-term support of the writer Michael Chaplin, Sid's son. He's been a great friend to New Writing North for many years, so Michael, thank you. Stu Hennigan also judged this one, and again, Stu, we can't thank you enough for your creative insight and your enthusiasm. And when I'm in Leeds, I'll come and say hello. And the winner from Lancaster for her novel Other People's Dirt is Alison Armstrong. Thanks very much, Jake. Alison, I'm not gonna put you on the spot. I'm not gonna interview you, but up there it says you appear to be a writer who knows exactly what they're doing. I'm not sure I've ever met a writer that knows exactly what. Do you know exactly what you're doing? Absolutely. Ah, nailed it. Knew it. Now, I love this award. It was won by, I can't remember his name, but it was won by a wonderful man last year, the Arvon Award. And the reason I remember it is because I wasn't going to bring this up. I applied for it and I didn't make the shortlist. So I was delighted for the man that did win it. I really hope his book's finished and published. The Arvon Award is, I assume everyone in this room knows about Arvon. I've never actually been able to do one myself. I tried to do one online last week, and that didn't work out. But it's an amazing thing. It's a wonderful place to go and just be and explore who you are as a writer. Everyone that I know that has done one says it's absolutely wonderful. One day this one will be mine, or not. The winner of this award is given the chance to attend an Arvon retreat of their choice. The fact that this is something that's available is something we're really grateful to Arvon for, and it was judged by Arvon. So, to hand out the next 3 certificates, and this one first, is poet Alicia Mohammed, who judged the Tempest Prize this year. Can you welcome Alicia to the stage? So, Alicia, you're going to be my right-hand woman for the next 3 awards, okay? Thank you. So, the winner of the Arvon Award, and I do want to know how it goes when you win and when you've done your week at Arvon, is for her thriller. She's from the Lake District, Hell's Fell. It's Beth Broomby. Ooh. And really, Beth, let's talk. I want to know about which one you're going to do, but also, dark edge of rural local newspapers. As someone who began their career at the Wiltshire Gazette and Herald, I really want to know more about that. Okay, let's move on to the Northern Promise TLC Awards. These awards are made in partnership with the Literary Consultancy, with support from Arts Council England. Winners receive one of TLC's incredible manuscript appraisals, a bursary of £500, and additional support from the lovely team at TLC. Now, these awards are judged by New Writing North. And I'm going to announce 2 winners, if you want to both come up. We've got Italo Ferrante from Manchester for their poetry collection, Pure Violence, and for their novel, Peach Pit, Gray Marlowe. You're doing so well. Thank you so much. Sometimes when you do these kind of events, there's this awkward moment where the applause lasts until someone gets maybe to the bottom stair, and then it's just very awkward. So you're doing brilliantly. Well done. Don't forget, we are going to take it all the way up to 11. They're going to hear us in Mortmouth before the end of the night. Now, I think this is such a wonderful prize, and I was talking to Andrew McMillan. Oh, that wasn't I didn't mean to do that one. Go on, yeah, all right. I was talking to Andrew McMillan about the importance of these awards and this organisation. I really didn't mean that one. And I didn't know he'd received an MBE, which is wonderful. I think the thing that I think is really special about this evening and the celebration we're having is, and I think Claire might have mentioned it, is the community. And I really would encourage you. I don't know about you, but I hate networking. When I go to these events, I hate networking, except for in this room, because I know that whoever I speak to, we've got something in common. We're all part of a community. And I think the fact that Andrew sponsors this award is really wonderful. So, the Tempest Prize is the Tempest Prize Awards. It awards one unpublished LGBTQ plus writer based in the north of England. The award is open to poetry, fiction, and narrative non-fiction. And this year's award was judged with great responsibility and dedication by Alicia. We're grateful to Andrew McMillan, whose generous support has made the Tempest Prize possible. The winner of the Tempest Prize wins £1,000, and I'm really glad to say that he does this, mentoring from Andrew. And the winner is, from Manchester for her memoir Dining Table, Lauren C. Maltus. Thanks, Alicia. I'm so sorry, this was a bit of housekeeping I missed at the start of the evening. When the winners come up, that was lovely that you wanted to stand and smile at me, but I don't have a camera. The cameraman's just down there, so if you point and smile at him, that would be great. I interviewed Julia Roberts once. Sorry, I just haven't done one for a while. Right, let's move on to the Tees Valley Award. Another new award. Come on, another, I know it's hot, another new award. Now, this new award recognises the talent and potential of a writer currently living in the Tees Valley. The winning writer will receive a bursary of £2,500 and access to New Writing North's programme of support. The award is made possible through generous funding from the Tees Valley Combined Authority and Arts Council England as part of the Engine Room project. Huge thanks to the gifted and hard-working team at the Tees Valley Combined Authority for establishing this award with us. The award was judged by literary agent Helly Ogden and writer Irenison Are you back there? Let me try it again. Irenison Okogie. Thank you. Heather Walker is going to be handing out these awards. So Heather, if you can join me on stage, please. And Heather is a Creative Place Programmes Manager at the Tees Valley Combined Authority. Many thanks to you as well for putting this award in place. And the winner from Middlesbrough for her historical novel Unruly Bodies, it's Shazia Altaf. What an extraordinary thing to be reading a Second World War novel with a new voice in the conversation. Congratulations. Okay, earlier on I promised you performances, but also a really inspiring talk. This chap, for those of you that have immigrant parents, this guy's a nightmare because there's a lot of pressure on you when you have an immigrant parent to basically be this guy. Tawseef Khan's debut non-fiction book, Muslim, actually, was published by Atlantic in 2021. His debut novel, Determination, by Footnote, in 2025. And as if that wasn't enough, he received the Northern Writers Award in 2017. He's a qualified immigration solicitor and holds a doctoral degree from the University of Liverpool, where he examined the fairness of the British asylum system. And he lives in Manchester. He's wonderful. He's such a great talent. You're really going to find this next 10 minutes or so fascinating. Please welcome to the stage, Tawseef Khan.
Hi everyone, it's true, I am a nightmare. I hope you're all having a wonderful night. I'm so honoured to be here to be speaking at the Northern Writers Awards because my writing journey began here 9 years ago. I'd only been writing for a few months when my partner encouraged me to enter the awards. I didn't have a lot of work to show, just 2 unpolished short stories, and what I knew was a banging idea for a short story collection. I wanted to write about immigrants and the system from a perspective of an immigration lawyer. I felt that I had something unique to say to the world. But I was still surprised when I won. I didn't actually know anything about New Writing North. I couldn't believe that anybody wanted to give me more than a supermarket voucher for some of my writing. In fact, it was only when I attended the ceremony in the summer of 2017 that I began to understand the scale that New Writing North operates on and the support that it provides to budding writers. Will told me that that year there had been over 1,000 entries, which blew my mind. The fact that I had been selected for an award amongst all of those people was just insane. But it gave me the validation that I needed to keep at it. And I was lucky to receive that validation so early on in my writing life. I often say that everything I've achieved as a writer has come out of New Writing North. I was encouraged to complete a short story collection because of the manuscript appraisal that I received. I met my agent through the Summer Talent Party organized the following year. And the agent quickly sold the book proposal that I'd written, which became my first non-fiction book, Muslim actually. But I was still insecure about my writing abilities. So New Writing North didn't stop there. They helped me to apply to the Arts Council for a grant and then subsequently arranged for Leonie Ross to mentor me. That mentorship was transformative. That's when I truly became a writer, I believe. Before that, I think I was winging it. And without Leonie, my short story collection wouldn't have turned into what became my debut novel, Determination. It would have stayed an idea that I'd been carrying around since I was 23 years old, which I came up with when I was riding the London Underground. Through New Writing North, I also gained valuable new friendships. They're watching, so hello. The camera's not on me, never mind. It started off tentatively between us at first. I think none of us wanted to come across too needy. But it quickly became apparent when we met. We met once or twice for coffee at the start. It became apparent that we adored each other's company. When you're all pursuing the same vocation, there's so much that doesn't have to be explained. It's hard to tell non-writing friends and get them to understand how we end up torturing ourselves sometimes, trying to produce writing that feels real and authentic and alive, and that expresses the seemingly inexpressible. And the truth is that we do need each other. We all need champions, people who believe in us, who'll celebrate our wins and commiserate with us when we lose. We all need feedback on our work that we can trust. And we all benefit when one of us breaks new ground, gaining valuable experience that the rest of us can share when we hopefully follow in their path. Truth be told, this is a grueling profession, and the more friends we have in it, the easier it is to handle. Believe me when I say that. I'm in the unique position to have debuted twice in 2 different genres, fiction and nonfiction, so I know what I'm talking about. Yes, reading is an increasingly marginal activity, and books are under all kinds of threats everywhere. But while literature can be a force for good, publishing isn't cozy, it's a business. It tends to focus on who or what is marketable in any given moment. It's conservative and risk-averse. And it's a business that makes a lot of promises, but can't always predict what will be successful. This can be a tough pill to swallow when an agent or a publisher says no, or when our books fail to achieve the sales, reviews, coverage, opportunities, and fame that we dreamed they would. It can feel like the problem isn't just our work, but that our identities aren't aligned with the industry gatekeepers. Our northernness, our queerness, our brownness, different-bodiedness, our class and political realities aren't fashionable anymore, or simply don't come in the right packaging. Almost 3 books in now, I've experienced a lot of rejection like this. But with every knockback, I feel like I understand the business a little bit better. I learn where to lower my expectations, and I try to remember why I'm doing this. Because I believe in the stories I have to tell, and the communities I want to see brought to life on the page. I know that's easy to believe in my position, easier. With a little success come those moments of clarity when someone tells you how your writing has spoken to them, and it inspires you to carry on. A lot of the time, however, we're left processing the rejection alone. That's when I remind myself that so much of publishing, like the world, is unpredictable and out of my control. But the one thing that's unequivocally mine is my writing. So I go back to my sentences, and I work on them, and I fix them, and then I go again, refortified. Congratulations on everyone who's won tonight. I wish you all the best with your writing. Go out and make a friend. It'll be worthwhile. Thank you.
I'm so sorry I described you as a nightmare. What I meant was, PhD, lawyer, it's a nightmare for, basically my dad's gonna be like, why aren't you more like him? But that was an absolute dream. Like, what an amazing, that was an amazing speech. Thank you so much, Tosi. Yeah, thank you. And when you were talking about finding your people and the fact that you don't need to explain, because we're a bit weird writers, you don't need to explain that. It reminded me of 2 weeks ago when I was talking to Barry Manilow. The thing is, it's true, I'm not making it up. Barry Manilow, you can find it on BBC Sounds. And this is going to sound weird, but he's got a lot in common with us. he was talking about the fact, I was saying, you know, you're Barry Manilow, you've got this amazing career, and he just kept insisting that he was a writer. He said, no, I'm a songwriter. And there's a group of 4 people that he's been songwriting with since the 70s. And it was really interesting to get past the facade of, wow, that's Barry Manilow in front of me, and realize that he was a weird writer as well. And there is something about, that's why this room is so wonderful. It's something about finding your people. Make sure you find your people tonight. Let's get another award, shall we? The Northern Debut Awards for Poetry. So, these awards support poets yet to publish a first collection, and they're going to be supported through a development program. The development program includes a £2,000 bursary and mentoring from an experienced poet. The entries were judged again by the poet John Glenday. Another big thank you to John. I'm told he was an astute and devoted judge whose words of encouragement mean a huge amount to the winners. And there are 2 winners to announce, but before we do that, Alice Mullen is the manager of the Poetry Book Society based here in Newcastle. She's going to be handing out the certificate. So Alice, if you could join me on stage. Now, I'm told one of our winners is joining us online, and one of them is in the room. So joining us online from Yorkshire for her collection Vivarium is Sally Baker, and joining us in the room from Manchester for his collection Entangled States is Carlton Rose. You would have had a lovely night if you'd have come here, but I get it, you're from Yorkshire, you didn't want to spend the money on the travel, and you wanted to stay and have an ice cream, so Sally, I'm with you, well done, sensible lady. We're also going to hand out now, with Alice, the Northern Writers Award for Poetry. The flagship Northern Writers Award strand offers bursaries to outstanding poets, developing work towards publication. The winner, I actually know the winner, and I'm really delighted that he's here and to see you, because so again, writers, we know each other, we're here to support each other, and the winner I'm about to announce, I followed his journey for a really long time, and I've seen the ups and the downs. He's seen some of mine. I actually rented a desk from a co-working space that he had, because I thought if I have a desk, I'll do some writing. And 3 months later I said, I'm going to have to cancel my direct debit because I think I've been in twice. So he's seen my downs as well. And I just think it's wonderful to see him here to win this award, because there's a lot of stuff that happens before we get to this point. And I don't know all of your stories, but I do know his story. And so I'm delighted to say that the winner receiving £3,000 to support work in progress, and the award was judged by John Glenday from Leeds for his currently untitled poetry collection in progress. It's Anthony Dunn. And I'll tell you what, if I do another 10,000 words in the next week, I'll come back and get the desk again. I just want to say a quick thank you to one of our partners, the brilliant Society of Authors. So your support runs not just for one award, but across the whole of the awards. And all Northern Writers Awards winners are offered a free membership of the Society of Authors, along with advisory sessions from the SOA. That's a wonderful thing. If you're offered those sessions, please do take them, but that's an extraordinary thing that you offer. We're really grateful to the SOA for their support. I think they deserve a round of applause as well. Now, I think Tulsi's going to join me back on stage to hand out the next awards. These are the Northern Debut Awards for Fiction and Young Adult. So these awards support debut writers through a development programme that includes a £2,000 bursary and mentoring with a writer or a publishing professional. The entries were judged again by the writer Ironison and literary agent Helly. Many thanks to both of them for their work and your discernment this year. So, the winners, Torsif, of the Northern Debut Award for Fiction for his queer historical horror novel, Witherhurst, it's Nate Black. And the Northern Debut Award for Young Adult Fiction from Sheffield for her YA fantasy novel Septora, it's Rihanna Francis. And the Northern Writers Award for Narrative Fiction now this is a strand that offers bursaries to writers developing work towards publication. There's one winner this year who receives £3,000, again judged by Helly and Irenison. And there is one winner who I believe is joining us online from Sheffield for her narrative non-fiction manuscript Fugitive Ink. It's Desiree Reynolds. And again, Desiree, we'll make sure you get your certificate. But to hear that this is one that stays with you, I think that's going to be on the front of the novel, I imagine. We're going to move now on to the Charlotte Aitken Trust Awards for Fiction. So, this is another new award for 2026. Now, this is a really important award. This is one that people have maybe published one, perhaps two novels, but there is that difficult moment, and I think a lot of us have referenced it, that if you're in London, if you're from a family that can support you through all of this, you might be able to bridge those difficult years. But actually what happens when you've had your debut, you've maybe got a second book out, how do you sustain a career? Well, here in the North, thanks to New Writing North, one of the ways you do that is perhaps by winning the Charlotte Aitken Trust Award. So they're for early career published novelists. They aim to support writers at this pivotal point in their early careers as they develop new work. So we don't have to lose some extraordinary voices that we need to hear from. Each winning writer will receive a bursary of £5,000 to support them with their project. Again, Helly and Irenson judge the Fiction Awards. To hand out the awards is the writer Lauren Howard, a trustee of the Charlotte Aitken Trust. Lauren, if you could join me on stage. And both winners joining us on stage. Living in Manchester, winning for her contemporary fiction novel Green Heat, is Phoebe Walker, and living in the Northwest for her speculative dystopian fiction novel Soft Spun Silk, Jodie Matthews. I have to say, reading the comments from the judges is, again, I keep using the same word, but it is really inspiring. The fact that, you know, when you get asked to judge these awards, and I do that kind of thing myself sometimes, it feels a really weighty responsibility. And it takes a lot of time, but the fact that you put this time in and then also thought so hard to give such brilliant feedback, I think is really wonderful. Thank you so much for doing that. Now, we have the Charlotte Aitken Trust Awards for Poetry, again going to be handed out by Lauren. There are 2 poetry awards for early career poets. So, poets face specific challenges at this stage of their writing journey. And that's something that's been recognised by the Charlotte Aitken Trust Award. So each winning poet is going to receive £5,000. John Glenday again selected our 2 winners. So, joining me on stage, both of them, from York for her poetry collection, The Good Instrument, Chris Johnson, and from Cumbria for her presently untitled poetry collection, Amelia Luley. We're nearly there. We're nearly at the moment that we're going to give that round of applause that goes all the way up to 10. But before we get there, I've got another performance. So this is a performance from a winner that was here last year, and I'm delighted that she's coming back. Princess Arinola Adegbite is a multi-award-winning British-Jamaican Nigerian surrealist poet. She's a musician, a filmmaker. She fuses social activism with Afro-futuristic sensibilities. Her accolades include the Northern Debut Award for Poetry at the awards last year. Raymond Antrobus, of all people, has praised her as a poet and performer in the truest sense of the word, experimental with sharp lyrical rigour. And I'm so delighted that we get an opportunity to see her in action. Please welcome to the stage Princess Arinola Adegbite.
I'm so happy to be with you today. This poem, I've got 2 poems for you today. One is called I Saw You in a Dream Before We Met, and it's all about dreams, it's all about migration, manifestation, believing in yourself, and finding love. And the second poem is a bit more energetic, so I hope you like it. One day, we'll make confetti out of passports. There'll be no borders. I'll sit in the taxi of a man whose dream is to plant trees, to help the earth breathe. He'll tell me, I don't always want to drive cars. I want to plant an orchard for my daughter. His eyes are evergreen, no signs of pollution. Today, I place him inside a stanza. Enter the room inside, words return for a week. I think of the boy who adopts a small tree, takes it with him so he can hold what's still living while his city is under siege. I ask people, what is your dream? I listen for the answer. Synonyms of being free or future, syllables walking on the air. I share the soil with strangers. We are both visitors in the country of our hurt. My lover builds a computer, finds me through his screen, pulls out my body, and now I'm next to him, next of kin, watching Inception on the television. I had a dream of us laughing before we met. That's how I knew his smile was gospel, when he held me like a memory. Thank you. Thank you so much. So this next poem is called Dreptomania, and it's all about free speech and using your voice for change. Dreptomania was a condition they used to give enslaved people for running away, because, of course, everyone wants to be a slave, so yeah. This was actually a medical condition that enslaved people actually got diagnosed with, so yes, Dreptomania. Fee, fi, foe. I beat Goliath in one blow. Philistines got guns but no ammo. Remember, the Pharisees called themselves holy, but it was all smoke. They put divinity on death row. I can't forget what Belgium did to Congo. It's etched into my frontal lobe. Rest in peace, Patrice. Cosmic Negro, my hero. I know I inspired Picasso. My poems prick hearts like needles. I bite back at patriarchy because he's evil. Love should be our fuel, yet we're raping our mother for coal and diesel. I'm smoking a bushfire while the ocean's nausea swelts to sea foam. This got me musing on the nature of power like Foucault, men in suits slipping through discipline and punishment loopholes. My tongue is my pistol, so I don't answer to wolf whistles. Saw a homeless man die by the needle. How can money and love ever be equal? Sickle cell, but my words are chemo. Princess of peace, only pure hearts are my equals, never live in bad faith. I'm in love with every line mark and crinkle, every secret, every thought, a time capsule. I learned everything I know from Queen Sappho. Excellence is in my genome, always at the peak. I can't plateau, even when patriarchy stalks me on the way home. Come too close and I'll capture you like Calypso. Love of my sisters, mahogany or red bone. I don't believe in division or status quo because people will hate your vocals when they can't hit a note. They say the black sheep always becomes the goat. It all makes sense now why it never did, why everyone who hurt me fell off the grid, half-baked like kids in amniotic fluid. Across from silicon is skid, carnage and sewage, it's sick. All the power we give to the rich, they're the pimps and we're the tricks. We have an Amazon website and a dying rainforest. Senseless powers politicians inherit. Matt Hancock was getting head while asking the public to grin and bear it. Zoom funerals, the evidence that the establishment is an embarrassment still. I got new or joy, everlasting and God-given, so no man can destroy. I'm at the pinnacle and it's still not my highest point. I don't trust pigs, agents of conflict that go oink, oink, oink. I'm living in God's manuscript, so I must rejoice, Joyce, Joyce. Life is like Ulysses, James Joyce noise. You can't steal my spirit or chain my voice. Poetry chose me. I didn't have a choice. I carry my slingshot, so talk to me nice. Fee, fi, fo. I beat Goliath in one blow. Pow. Thank you.
That was wonderful, Princess. Thank you so much. We're nearly there. We are going to do the taking it all the way up to 10. I haven't really dropped any more names, have I? I have to think of some other famous people that I've interviewed. There's a couple of things I want to just mention. First of all, last year, after the event, quite a few people ended up at the pub, and that was great. However, some people didn't quite make their way there, so what we've decided to do tonight is extend the party here. So the bar's going to be open until 11 p.m, and really, even if you're, I keep saying it, we're writers, we're weird. Even if you feel like, oh, I don't want to mingle, I'm not a networker, this is the room that you can do that in, because we're all weird. We're all writers, and you're going to have something to talk to someone about. So please, please stick around and meet people, mingle, have a chat. And the really exciting news is that, well, there's a very important person in the room. He is the program manager. He's a talent development. He's in charge of talent development. His name's Will. But also, apparently, he's made a banging playlist. So stay for that, if nothing else. Before we do say goodbye, though, I want to hand over to Helen Dorby. She's the acting chair of New Writing North. Helen, if you want to join us to give the closing remarks.
Good evening, everyone. What an absolutely fabulous evening it's been. As we come to the close of tonight's event and the 2026 Northern Riders Awards, I want to take just a few moments to reflect on what we've celebrated here tonight, to thank everybody who makes this evening possible, and to acknowledge someone whose presence is felt particularly strongly this evening. The Northern Riders Awards have always been about possibility. They're about spotting talent before the rest of the world sees it. They're about backing writers at pivotal moments in their careers, creating opportunities, opening doors, and providing the encouragement, resources, and confidence that allow great writing to flourish. Year after year, these awards remind us that extraordinary stories are being created across the North. They also remind us that talent is everywhere, even when opportunity is not. And they demonstrate the vital role that New Writing North plays in ensuring that writers from every background have the chance to develop their craft and share their work with readers and audiences. Tonight we've celebrated a remarkable group of writers. Some are at the beginning of their journeys, Others are building on years of dedication and hard work. What unites them is a commitment to creativity and to the power of words. We know that writing can often be a solitary endeavour, but events like tonight remind us that writing is also a collective endeavour. Behind every writer is a network of the people who encourage them, challenge them, and believe in them. I'd like to thank everyone who contributes to the success of these awards, our funders and partners, our judges, Claire and the wonderful team at New Writing North, our board of trustees and supporters, and everyone here tonight who believes in the importance of nurturing creative talent. But this evening I would also like to pause to remember somebody who dedicated much of his time, energy and wisdom to that mission. As many of you will know, our chair, Neil Warwick OBE, passed away suddenly in December. Neil served New Writing North with extraordinary commitment and generosity. He believed deeply in the importance of ensuring that creative talent could thrive regardless of background or circumstance. He was a passionate advocate for culture in the North and for the role that organisations like New Writing North play in enriching lives and communities. Those of us who had the privilege of working alongside Neil will remember not only his leadership, but also his kindness and his unwavering support for others. He brought wisdom and perspective to every conversation, but he also brought warmth, humour, and humanity. Neil understood that organisations are ultimately about people. He cared about the writers whose careers we support, the staff who deliver our programmes, and the wider communities we serve. He was immensely proud of the Northern Writers Awards and of the many writers whose journeys they've helped to shape. It does feel fitting, therefore, that we honour Neil's memory at an event that embodied so much of what he cared about. The writers we've celebrated tonight, the opportunities these awards create, and the futures that they help to unlock are all part of a legacy that Neil helped to strengthen. His influence continues to be felt in our work, our values, and our ambitions for the future. The Small Business Federation have kindly donated £1,500 in memory of Neil, and his friends and family have also donated in his memory. We will use these funds to support work with young people, an area of our work that Neil was particularly passionate about. Work is also ongoing with the Community Foundation on setting up a longer-term fund in Neil's name to support young people and entrepreneurs, and we look forward to keeping in touch with that development. The Northern Writers Awards are delivered by New Writing North's talent development team, as we've heard, and on behalf of trustees of New Writing North, I'd like to thank Will Mackey for his leadership of this programme and his team, Sarah France and Fran Harvey for their diligence and care, imagination and professionalism. Thanks also to the Young People and Communities team who support the Young People's Awards, and to Nick for his fantastic hosting tonight. He's been brilliant. Yeah, definitely. As we leave tonight, I hope that we do so feeling inspired by the talent that we've encountered, by the courage that it takes to create, and by the knowledge that when we invest in writers, we invest in our culture, our communities, and our shared future. To all of this year's award recipients, congratulations. We're excited to see where your writing takes you next. And to everyone who's joined us this evening, thank you for being part of this celebration. And to Neil, thank you for your leadership, your friendship, and your belief in what New Writing North can achieve. Your contribution will not be forgotten. Have a safe journey home, and we look forward to seeing you again next year. Thank you, and good night.
I promised you a really wonderful, inspiring, extraordinary night, and I like to think we've delivered that. From Claire's opening speech that the North is rising, I felt ready for this. I felt up for this. I feel like being in this room with you is it's just a gift. So thank you so much for having me. So my name is Nick Hachette. I'm a writer and broadcaster, and I'm quite comfortable saying that I'm a broadcaster because I've done a lot of broadcasting. When I say I'm a writer, I always feel I'm on the back foot. I'm always kind of going, I'm a writer? And especially when I'm in a room full of people like you, it feels like a painter and decorator going up to Michelangelo and going, bit of an artist myself, actually. I feel like a bit of a fraud. And if you feel like that, if you feel like, am I a writer? I want you to forget that voice. Ignore that voice tonight, because you are a writer. You're a brilliant writer. You're an award-winning writer, a lot of you in this room. And I want you to go and talk to people, meet your peers, meet your friends, meet the community that we all clearly need. And remember that the North is rising. There's one final thing that we need to do. I've got some more information on Will Mackey's playlist. And really weirdly, it's a bunch of people that I've interviewed. Chuck D, Gary Barlow, Sting, and apparently there's loads of Barry Manilow. No, okay. Thank you for being my official clanger, Anna. Thank you all for being here. This has really been a wonderful night. It doesn't stop now. We've got the room until 11. And so I want you to do one last thing for me. I want you to put your hands together and thank all the wonderful staff behind the scenes, all the people that are on your tables for organising this, and all the winners. Now, this is where we need to take it up to 10, and they need to hear it in more. So, ladies and gentlemen, congratulations to everyone here tonight. Thanks very much. Good night. Looking forward to your playlist, Will.